Back when I was younger, there were a lot of things that I can now tell you that I overlooked. Things you might call ordinary, insignificant maybe. But oh how time can change the way we see things. Because at some point in life, and amongst all the joys, as well as the trials that happen to you, wisdom reveals itself, bit by bit. And slowly I came to understand that you can look at things from two angles. Say, giving a stranger a smile. To some, just a polite habit, but to others, a genuine act of welcome. And from there it dawned upon me that the biggest things in life were in fact the little things. Youth, they say, is wasted on the young. And though I enjoyed the days of my childhood, and the worst of my fears were stubbed toes and paper cuts, I didn't appreciate it as much as I do now, as ironic as that might be. Funnily enough, in spite of all the times it annoyed me, Dad really did have more than an ounce of wisdom in him. Listen up, he used to say. But stubborn as I was, I never would. That is, until I saw being naive wasn't helping me with anything, let alone everyone else. Atticus was right, because as he said in Dad's favourite novel, To Kill a Mockingbird, you never really understand a person until you consider things from his point of view. I remember holding on to those leathery hands of his, full of security and confidence. Those hands walked me to school, taught me how to make things, patted my back when he was proud. Get down on your knees each night, sonny, and thank God for everything you have. All those things that have got you worried, leave them to God. He's got you covered. Reading the newspaper each morning didn't seem so interesting as a child, but got me used to keeping a routine. And I'll never forget how scalding hot the pan was that time. I was frying an egg, a bit of a wake-up that incident. Had to be alert to even the simplest of things. It was a long time before it occurred to me why anyone should be bothered to make their bed. After all, it'd get messy, wouldn't it? But who knew? Discipline and responsibility could actually be found in that. One thing I did appreciate, however, were dinners at home with family. Yeah, I could have been playing outside or in the lounge listening to a record, but to me, being together meant a lot more. We all need a bit of time to ourselves sometimes, but from what I've seen, being alone for too long gets even the best of us. As Dad always said, as pointless as movies are, they should still never be watched alone. Reading seemed like a chore back in the day, but Dad got us to do it anyway. Novels, biographies, whatever. Not that I knew it then, but it really is a gift, being able to read. I always considered shoelaces a pesky thing, but getting my fingers around those flimsy strings took persistence, and patience too. It's always a great reminder, every now and then, when I'm looking after Dad, that we should relax just that tad bit more. As we know, but often forget, all of this will come to an end. But before then, I want to be there with my daughter, the delightful times as well as the rough, because I'd like her to know, and hopefully she'll get it faster than I do, that all the big things are made up of little ones. It's that passing smile, a hot chocolate on a winter morning, or that one blossom amongst the thorns, and perhaps, in the busyness and commotion of life, this might fade from her sight, but will return to her when she needs it most.